being a big advocate for Kratom, the thing that I probably get asked the very most about it is, how do you use Kratom to get off of opiates? That is how I was first introduced to Kratom, was because I was trying to get off of Suboxone, and so now I get asked about it a lot, and I'll usually go into a lot of detail or type up a whole big thing when I'm trying to help somebody with that. And I figured it would be helpful to everyone if I made another video going into more detail about how I used Kratom to get off of opiate maintenance medication, and hopefully that can help someone else trying to do the same thing. Kratom is probably the most popularly known for is to help get off of opiates, be it opiate maintenance medication like I did, Suboxone or methadone, or heroin, or prescription opiates, or other prescriptions such as benzos. It can help to get off of other street drugs, alcohol, even getting off of cigarettes. Kratom can help with that. It's not the only use for it, but it's probably the most popular thing that it's known for. If you're looking into trying out Kratom to help with pain or depression or anxiety, and you're not trying to get off of something else, then some of the same steps still follow, so this might help you too if you're looking into trying Kratom for whatever. But I'm just going to tell a more detailed description of how I used Kratom to get off of Suboxone, and hopefully that can help someone else who's trying to do the same thing. So I'm going to begin by saying I'm not a doctor, and this is not any type of medical advice. This is just what worked for me, and hopefully it can help other people figure out what works for them. So I am a recovering heroin addict. I've been off of heroin for a little over 6 years now, and when I got off of heroin, I went to a doctor and got put on Subutex, and about a year later got put on Suboxone, and then was on that for a few years. And it's really, really hard to get off of an opiate maintenance medication like that. I personally think it was even harder to get off of than heroin. The withdrawals last a lot longer, and just the psychological aspect of, you get it from a doctor, it's not illegal, and there's just a lot of things that make it really hard. Opiate withdrawal is really awful. It's hard to describe if you haven't been through it. It's kind of like the worst flu you can think of, but like even worse than that. It's, like I said, it's just really hard to describe if you haven't been through it, and it's really taxing on you mentally, makes you depressed, makes you anxious. But Kratom can help with all of those things, and I'm really glad that I ran into it somehow, looking on the internet, probably Googling how do you get off of Suboxone, and started looking into Kratom and trying to figure out if it could help me finally get off of Suboxone, because I was a new mom and I was working, I was going to school, so just dealing with withdrawals for a month wasn't really an option for me. So I started looking into Kratom, getting it from some different sources, trying different kinds. I would make notes about each kind and how it affected me and what I liked about it, what I didn't. And first, starting off, I think I probably started with either a half a teaspoon or a full teaspoon. I have a high opiate tolerance, so if you do too, then you might need a little more than that. I think, so I'd start at a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon, wait about 30 minutes to an hour, see how I was feeling. If I needed more, felt like I had too much, take, if I felt like I needed more, then take another half a teaspoon. Again, wait another 30 minutes or so, take another half teaspoon as needed, and then just kind of testing it out and doing that until I figured out what dosage was right for me. Another thing that I was doing while I was looking into Kratom and trying it out is weaning down on my Suboxone, and that's the thing that I probably most highly suggest to people trying to get off of something, is wean down as low as you can. I know that for some people that's just not really possible. If just going cold turkey is better for you because that works better for you psychologically, then go for it. But if you can wean down, that really helps. So try to wean down as low as you can. What I did was, for those who aren't familiar with Suboxone, it comes in little strips that you put on your tongue and it dissolves. It's kind of like those breath strips. And a strip is 8 milligrams, so in the end I was cutting it up into 16 pieces and having a half of a milligram a day, so down from 8 milligrams a day to a half of a milligram a day. And then after I'd tried the Kratom out for a little while, kind of figured what worked best for me. And another thing that people ask me a lot is which type of Kratom is best for opiate withdrawal, and the average consensus is that red strains are what works the best. Typically you'll find Kratom in red, green, and white. There's some other colors, but that's for a different video. So reds are usually what helps the most, but everyone is different, so that's why I suggest to get as many different kinds as you can. Try them out, make notes, figure out what works best for you. I mean, everybody's withdrawal symptoms are different too, so it kind of depends. Do you need more help with the physical pain of it? Do you need more help with the debilitating depression it gives you? Are you not able to sleep? Depending on what kind of withdrawal symptom you're trying to alleviate, then different Kratom is going to work better for different things. So I tried different Kratom, figured out what was working for me, what I liked. Another thing that you need to remember is that if you're on other opiates, when you start taking Kratom, it's not going to work as well, and neither are your opiates. They both kind of cancel each other out. So, and then two, it seemed to me like the Kratom started working the best for me. I'd say maybe like 2 weeks after I started taking it regularly. And I think I forgot to say, probably don't take any more than 3 teaspoons at a time. If you take too much, you'll get really nauseous, you'll get a headache. If you take way too much, you're definitely gonna puke. You can eat to try to alleviate that, but I definitely suggest take it easy. You can always take a little bit more if you need to, or wait for your next dose and try again. It's usually good to dose about every 4 to 6 hours. If you're going through opiate withdrawal, then you can feel, when your symptoms start coming back and when you need more. So after I'd tried different Kratoms for a while, figured out what dosage worked for me, figured out how, often I needed it, stuff like that, what I did was, so I would not take my Suboxone for a day, and I'd take Kratom the whole day instead, and then the next day I'd go back to taking my Suboxone. Then I would go 2 days with just Kratom and no Suboxone, have Suboxone for another day, go 3 days on Kratom, no Suboxone, Suboxone for a day, 4 days, and I just kind of went like that. It was kind of an easier stepping stone for me, and easing myself into it and showing myself that yes, Kratom works and Kratom can help you with your withdrawals, and you can make it through your day without Suboxone, with the help of Kratom. And so it just kind of helped me feel more confident in jumping off and completely going without it. So I did that until I could make it a week without my Suboxone, and then I think I took it one more time, and then it was Christmas Eve. I decided to go and take my Kratom again for a week straight, and then after that week I just decided that I wasn't going to take my Suboxone anymore. I was just going to keep going on with the Kratom, and then on New Year's I flushed the rest of what I had in my Suboxone down the toilet and never looked back. So yeah, that's my story of how I used Kratom to get off of Suboxone. And I'm just, I'm super grateful that I discovered Kratom and was able to use it to help me to do that, because, for the longest time I had no idea how I was ever going to finally get off of Suboxone, and after I did, I, had withdrawal symptoms for at least a month, and thank goodness I had Kratom to help ease those symptoms a whole lot and to help me get through it. And then afterward, I had a lot of depression and anxiety and pain and other things for a long time, and Kratom helped with all of that. And so I'm just really grateful for it, and hoping that I can help other people who are looking for similar help to get through those things. And so if you have any other questions about Kratom or opiate withdrawal or whatever else, leave a comment and I will try to reply when I can. And I guess one last thing that I just want people to know if they're, looking into Kratom to get off of some kind of substance is that you can do it. It seems so hard and impossible, but it is possible, and you just, you keep going one day at a time and you can do it. And when you do, it feels really, really awesome. It's great to finally break free of that cycle and take more control of your life again and just feel better, and it's awesome. So you can do it, and keep trying, and you'll get there. So yeah, thanks for watching, and Kratom on, everybody.